So brother, finally the translations for One Piece chapter 1130 are out. And this chapter is insanely crazy in my opinion. In this chapter, we're going to see the Cursed Prince, aka Loki, and man, let me tell you, Oda-sensei has done some next level work here. We all thought he would be some big, clumsy giant. But man, what character design Oda-sensei has pulled off here. And along with that, this chapter will also reveal where the rest of the Straw Hats are, how they are coming back, and why. You'll find out everything. I'll explain everything to you from A to Z. So let's dive into the chapter. The name of chapter 1130 is the Cursed Prince or the Prince of Curses, and it's called that because in this chapter, we are going to meet a legendary character who has done some truly legendary deeds. Let's head straight to the chapter. But first, in the cover story, we're going back to Wano, where we'll see Yamato and Otama. As you know, Yamato had gone to Otama and the others for some ninja training. So yeah, it was the afternoon and Otama and Yamato were sleeping. While they were dozing off, someone stole Yasuie's sword. So in the cover story, all we see is that the sword has been stolen, and it's being shown that crime in Wano City has been on the rise. There's kidnapping, sword theft, and all sorts of chaos. Anyway, that's all for the cover story. Now let's dive into the chapter. If you're someone who follows the One Piece manga along with spoilers, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I release spoilers and chapter updates every week. Although today's was a bit delayed, so yeah, it's a free subscription. Go do it quickly and also hit the notification bell so you get the videos first. In the past few chapters, all the Straw Hats had gotten separated from each other, and we know that the remaining Straw Hats were all on the Elbaf ship. So the scene shifts straight to the Elbaf ship, and we're going to find out what they were up to. At the start of the chapter, Frankie announces that they're about to end their search for Luffy and the others who have gone missing. The giants like Dory and Bragi shout at him saying, "What are you talking about? Are you crazy? They're your friends." But the giants say they've searched everywhere but still can't find them. However, they believe that the missing Straw Hats are still alive. Frankie responds they're not the kind of people who'd give up that easily. He thanks the giants for all their effort in helping with the search, but they now believe they should head to Elbaf themselves. Robin agrees, saying their destination is Elbaf, so they should go there and wait for Luffy and the others. Jinbe, who had been gathering intel with the sharks, informs them that even the sharks couldn't find anything. Jinbe says, "I know how much effort you all put into the search, but it seems like there's no evidence to be found at this time." Brooke, always thinking about food, chimes in with, "All the food is running out. We need to leave soon or we're going to starve here." Bragi reassures them, "Okay, if you're saying they're okay, then they must be fine because you're their friends." Then he orders his crew to set sail for Elbaf, and someone from the crew informs him that all the food supplies are gone. After this, Bragi says, "Let's set sail quickly and open whatever food supplies we have left because we're heading home." But then one of his crew members informs him that all their food is gone. As they're talking, Luffy finally punches his way out of that block kingdom they were trapped in, and now they have finally arrived at Elbaf. The moment Luffy steps outside, he looks around and is awestruck by a gigantic tree. He exclaims, "Wow, this tree is huge. It's been standing here for thousands of years. It seems like he can't even comprehend how big the tree is." Then Luffy says, "Wait a second, it feels like this entire place is made of just that tree." He also notices an enormous castle nearby with a massive bridge connecting the tree to the castle. And there's snow everywhere. It's freezing cold with snow covering the entire landscape. As the Straw Hats come out, Nami also sees the massive tree and is stunned, almost fainting from the sheer size of it. But wait a second, the bridge they're standing on might actually be leading somewhere. And just then, two giants start approaching them from a distance. Nami immediately warns everyone, "Quick, hide. Let's see what happens first." The two approaching giants turn out to be members of the new giant warrior pirates, Hydroden's crew, meaning they're allies of Luffy. But at this point, the Straw Hats don't know that yet. One of them is Gerd, the crew's doctor, and the other is Goldberg, their cook. You'll also notice a giant owl flying with them named Piper. Gerd is talking to Goldberg saying, "I still can't believe Hydrode let that guy Rhodes join our crew. If you forget about Rhodes, he is the fake sun god who was giving the Straw Hats trouble." Gerd said, "Why did he allow him in?" Goldberg replies, "Well, you know, Rhodes has excellent navigation skills." But Gerd snaps back, "That guy is worse than Loki. He's caused more embarrassment for Elbaf than Loki ever did." Goldberg laughs and says, "If Rhodes finds out you said that, he'll probably take it as a compliment. The guy's a total psycho." Just then, Piper the giant owl informs Gerd and Goldberg that the crow which Zoro defeated earlier has now picked up the Straw Hat ship and brought it here. Piper relays the message to the giants, who now realize they need to deal with the intruders and also investigate why Rhodes has been causing all these problems. Goldberg remarks, "Yeah, we'll have to deal with the intruders. But honestly, they didn't come here by themselves. Rhodes is the one who brought them here." Meanwhile, Luffy is still watching the giants, thinking to to himself, they don't seem like bad guys. But the rest of his crew starts urging him to back off, warning. They're saying they'll capture any intruders. We need to get out of here fast. As Gerd and Goldberg turn around to look, but the Straw Hats have disappeared. Gerd says, I thought I heard something. Goldberg replies, yeah, me too. But now there's no sign of anyone. The Straw Hats have quickly hidden, and Luffy along with the others is now trying to figure out their next move. Gerd calls the castle, asking if Road is inside and informing them that the intruders have vanished. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats start running across the massive bridge that connects the tree to the castle. As they run, Luffy comments, man, this is one big bridge. Zoro adds, we need to keep moving. The giants aren't here right now, but if they catch us, we won't be able to escape. As they look down, they notice that below the bridge are packs of wild wolves, waiting to attack anyone who falls off. But something strange is happening to Luffy. He suddenly senses something. Zoro notices and asks Luffy, what's going on with you? Luffy responds, you can feel it too, right Zoro? I'm feeling something all over my body. I can hear it. Zoro starts following Luffy, while Sanji jumps in and stops Zoro, saying, hey, where do you think you're going? I'm not letting you go anywhere alone. Sanji, as usual, is always looking out for Zoro and tells him, I'm not letting you get into trouble, and I'm not going anywhere myself either. Here Luffy says, these roars I'm hearing. I also heard them in Block Kingdom, and I don't know why, but I feel like I should go and check who this guy is. And as usual, Luffy jumps off the bridge. Everyone knows I've told him countless times that there are wild wolves down there, but Luffy being Luffy just doesn't care. Meanwhile, everyone else is chilling, and our god Usopp is trying to reassure himself to be brave. At this point, Chopper says to Luffy, where are you going? There are wild wolves and all sorts of dangerous creatures down there. The scene then cuts back to the Elbaf ship, where Brogy is reading the news, and it's written that the giant warriors fought and caused massive destruction on Egghead. The attack on Egghead was all done by the giants, and the Marines dragged us into this mess. But Brogy comments, their language is so small, they should write in big letters. Robin steps in and says, let me read it. She reads that after 100 years, the giant warriors have awakened alongside Yonko Straw Hat, and they caused havoc on Egghead. The bounty for Red Demon Brogy and Blue Demon Dory has now been raised to 1.8 billion berries. Last time, it was 100 million berries, and now it's jumped to 1.8 billion. Imagine what Luffy's bounty will be now. Dory and Brogy are like, our bounty's increased. We didn't even want to awaken. One of their crew members says, back when we were part of the crew, our chiefs Dory and Brogy only had 100 million berries on their heads. Now it's 1.8 billion. Look at that growth. Robin explains, 100 years ago, money had a different value, and now this amount fits their strength. But then, as Robin reads further, she sees that it's reported that Luffy killed Vegapunk, shocking the entire crew. Frankie says, these newspapers are always messing things up and twisting stories. At this point, Lolith comes in and teases Frankie, saying, you guys killed me. When did that happen? Frankie, not getting the joke, says, we tried our best to save you till the end. Brooke chimes in, none of this really matters. But hey, this photo of Luffy in the newspaper is pretty badass. When did they take this picture? Jinbe says, it must be from when we were at Egghead during all that chaos. Someone must have snapped the photo and sold it for a good price. In the photo, Luffy has the same cross mark on his hand that he had during the Alabasta arc. Robin says, since when did this mark appear on Luffy's body? I never noticed it before. Robin wonders if this mark only appears when Luffy transforms into Gear 5 and feels completely free. Frankie says, I never really noticed, but Robin always seems to spot weird things. Robin replies, I feel like I've seen this mark somewhere before. None of the current Straw Hat crew members recognize the mark because they all joined after the Alabasta arc. The mark was likely left by Vivi to send a message to the crew that she's doing fine. But Dory then says something big. He and Brogy believe that the Straw Hats are now on par with the red-haired pirates. I don't even want to give my reaction to that, but you guys can comment and let me know if you think Luffy and Shanks are equal now. Dory and Brogy add, now your crew even includes our people, as Hadruden's crew is under your umbrella. When the giants say this, another giant comments that Hadruden is the son of the king of Elbaf. Frankie is shocked, really. The giants reveal that Hadruden was supposed to come to get Dory and Brogy, but a huge problem arose in Elbaf, and the ones providing this information are none other than Chief Kashi and Oimo. They explain that this all started back when their captains were missing. Royal family had another child who was called the Accused Prince. This newborn royal devoted himself to darkness. A few years ago, he was sentenced to crucifixion. He tried to flee, but all the warriors came together to capture him. Frankie says, so all the giant warriors gathered to catch this guy. Jinbe asks, his name wouldn't happen to be. And Brooke adds, I think a screw in my brain just got loose. The giants then reveal that there is a legendary devil fruit passed down through the royal family, and this prince's desire to eat, it was so great that he killed his own father, King Harold. As of now, nothing has been revealed about this devil fruit, but it's dangerous enough that Loki, the prince, has shaken taken the entire Elbaf by himself. The giants warn that if Loki ever breaks free, he has the power to destroy the entire world. This is the biggest threat to Elbaf. We then see a badass panel of Loki, a giant who is chained from all sides. Contrary to his earlier shadowy depiction, he looks nothing like that. His eyes are covered with a blindfold, and he says to Luffy, "Tell me your name." Luffy replies, "My name is Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm going to be the future Pirate King." Loki responds, "King." Luffy then asks, "First, tell me where we are and who you are." Loki answers, "This place is called the Warland, the kingdom of Elbaf warriors, the strongest kingdom in the world. A long time ago, war consumed it." We then see Elbaf, which seems to be built atop the Yggdrasil tree, which is 12 to 13 times bigger than a mountain. There are waterfalls and rivers running through it, and the entire land rests on this tree. Loki then says, "I am the one who will destroy this world. I am the sun god." Even Loki is calling himself a sun god now. Everyone seems to be a sun god these days. And with that, the chapter ends. There's a 2-week break now, not just one. This was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.